It's sundown in Texas, and the Mustangs are herding up.
Friday nights show us how. Bam, and the Mac, Coach Hayes air attack. His bells and a band sound. Make these sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in the fall. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in the fall. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Pre-game tailgates, Bobby Blue is in the air. Living our dreams through this Mustang DNA we share. Game day clocks and whistles ready at the go. No question about it, cause it's football, you know. Bam and the Mac, Coach Hayes air attack. His bells and a band sound. Big D sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders and Billy's in the fall. Sunset in Texas, this is Mustang football. Sun's down in Texas, living it up in the fall. The lights are heating up now, this is Mustang football.
This is Mustang football.
The Coach Mike Alexander Show is presented by the Kim Assad Group.
What we want to do with the Assad Group is just develop a team that is known for their integrity, for working hard and supporting their clients and just giving the best level of service, because that's what clients want. Hi, I'm Kim Assad with Compass Real Estate. I've lived in Texas since I was 11 years old, and we've lived in Grapevine since 2002. Grapevine is a great area to live in. We love the downtown area. It's like an old Western movie with log cabins. It's known as the Christmas capital of Texas, and we're really proud of our city. We love living here. Our kids grew up in the school district, Grapevine Colleyville ISD. We love their education and have been proud of just the relationships and friendships they've made in the community here. There's been all walks of life, from lots of stay-at-home moms to working parents that do a lot of volunteering for the schools. And that's really kind of how I've met a lot of my clients, is volunteering in the schools, whether I'm the teen mom or in the booster club, or volunteered with NCL National Charity League, or with my son through Second Saturdays. We've had a great time just meeting so many people in the community. I've been in real estate since 2000. I'm actually a civil engineer by degree, married a civil engineer, and then I got my real estate license back in 2000 and just have loved it ever since, because I love working with people and just the relationship. Real estate is really a relationship business. It's about developing relationships, somebody that trusts you and that we can help them accomplish their real estate goals. I was a broker on my own before, and I joined Compass because I just love the image and the support that I have with Compass. I mean, our ads look so professional, our listings look so desirable, and it just helps the client out because I can get their home sold faster. But I have the Assad Group under Compass. I've grown that with 2 agents initially that have been great agents, And then now my family's even joined. So my husband, who joined Compass about a year ago, and then now my son. You know, I just want to welcome your business, and if you have any real estate needs, whether you're looking for a rental, a purchase, to sell your house, or an investment property, just call me.
The Coach Mike Alexander Show is produced by Tradio. Now, here's Carnes and Coach with this week's recap and DNA players.
Hello, Mustang Nation, alongside defensive coordinator of the Grapevine Mustangs, Tanner Antle, and offensive coordinator of the Grapevine Mustangs, Scott Loy. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here. We are live from Hotel Vin in the Third Rail Concert Hall. We are on the big stage here at the Concert Hall. Coach Alexander Show this week without Coach Mike Alexander. He's with his wife tonight. But want to say special thanks to Kim Assad from Compass for sponsoring us, and Tradio for helping put it together. What a great opportunity. Glad to see so many Mustangs in the house tonight. And we are coming off a playoff week number 1. It's a new season as they talk about coaches. I got you on both sides. I mean, this is kind of cool. I'm sandwiched. But it's kind of cool because it's the new season. We're in the playoffs is what we're working for. Finished the season 8-2. Now we're 1-0. Coach, on the offense, I'll let you start. Big win against Wichita Falls High School on Thursday night, 44-7. From an offensive standpoint, tell us your thoughts and reflections on the game.
Yeah, well, offensively, I thought our guys had a great week of practice, and they came out well prepared. And I think, they showed that the first 3 drives going down and scoring. And then, we kind of got in a little funk there at the end of the second quarter and beginning of the third quarter. But, the guys stayed together on the sideline real well and rallied together and came back and had a good fourth quarter. And I was most proud of the way they responded on the sideline. They never got down on each other when things weren't going well, but a lot of guys pulling each other and encouraging and, coming together.
Well, you scored the first touchdown in the first minute of the game, got them down 21-0, so it looked like this was going to be another ongoing roll, and it slowed down a little bit. What was your message to the players as things were slowing down and things were slowing on the offensive side?
Just keep staying together. I mean, we still trusted, we still liked the game plan. We didn't think we needed to change anything. We just, caught a couple bad breaks and they made a couple good plays. And, so the message to the kids was just keep staying together, keep trusting it. And, the plays will happen. Just keep taking it one play at a time, and the big plays will happen.
Well, as the game went on, obviously they did come back around. And Coach Antle, here you are. Things are going along pretty good. We're up 21, and all of a sudden you find yourself having to deal with some goal line stands. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3, if I remember correctly, but you give up a touchdown and you make 2 stops inside the 5-yard line. What was your message, and what were you thinking with the defense at this time?
Well, the whole night was all about just finding a new level, play by play, and I think the kids did a great job of matching the intensity that was required or finding a new level of intensity. And that's my big message as of late is, hey, our back's against the wall. It's win or go home. And there's plenty of guys. I mean, every one of them in that locker room, they don't want this thing to be over. I don't want it to be over. Coach Lloyd don't want it to be over. And you can come watch practice and see that firsthand, just the way that they approach their week of preparation. Well,
and it's, at this point, new season 1-0, headed out to Midland. We'll talk about that in a little while. But unfortunately, Wichita Falls had to go home. I want to give a quick update if I can. One of their players was injured during the game. We had about a 30-minute delay during the game for one of their players. I spoke to the head coach this morning. He stayed 2 days in the hospital. He's doing better. No broken bones as they understand, but they do think he's going to have a little bit of a long recovery with some soft tissue issues. But good to hear that he's home and he's going to be okay. So that was good. But that was a long break. And I'd be curious to hear both of your talk about what was happening during that long break. It was 30 minutes of delay in the second half there. What are we doing with the players, talking about them? They're getting stiff again. Talk about from a coaching standpoint what you were thinking during that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because, as a coach and, as our players over there, when they see somebody hurt and once you realize it's serious, it kind of sombers the whole team because, you don't ever want anybody to get injured. And so, right. Being able to just kind of get everybody kind of just, take a breath for a minute, realize it was really good once we saw the kid, once they had him on the stretcher and getting off, just seeing that he was – excuse me. Is that better? Yeah, and so once he was off the field, just kind of rallying the troops, everybody, we got getting them back together and telling them, hey, it's time we still got to go play a football game and get it cranked back up. So there's that lull, while he's down, no one's hoping it's not too serious, and then once it's time to play, getting their heads back right, getting warmed up, and going to play.
Well, good. Well, Coach.
Yes, sir.
On the defensive side, it was kind of a good news, bad news. Obviously, the kid gets hurt, but it was a scoop and score. And that was kind of pretty much putting the nail in the coffin, so to speak. So,
yes, sir.
From your standpoint, talk about that and how the game turned at that point.
Well, I mean, you pretty much just said it, nail in the coffin. When you got guys clawing and trying to find a way back in the game, and then you sack the quarterback and create a fumble and scoop and score a touchdown, and your stud gets hurt. Bless him. We want him to fully recover. It kind of takes the air out of the sails. So, and then kind of to touch back on what you're saying with Coach Loy, in my mind, for the first chunk of that, because it dragged on for a while, was, hey, we got to go back on the field again right now. And I touched on it earlier on the mic, the intensity, challenging them to, hey, find a new level every series, find a new level every play, never come off that gas pedal. It still remained after that, however long that break was. And on top of that, we subbed our next guys in, our twos, and they finished with 0 yards. I think the first play, they might not have been ready, but 6 yards, a little bit of a gain, missed tackle by a Will, and then it was 0, -2, -4. So that message has been received, and everybody's bought in and trying to accomplish that goal that I've challenged them.
Well, we talked a little bit before, this is a little bit off the script here, but we talked a little bit before the game about the number of points and the overall average of what's coming up with the team we're playing this week. But you shared your own formula. It's yours. You keep it. You shared with us your own formula about points per drive. Share with us your thought process on what you're looking for from the defense. Do they know this number?
No.
Do they know you're a spreadsheet master?
It's on our goal board every Monday, points per drive. If they don't know what our goal is, then I guess I'm not doing a good enough job about that. 1.75? Okay, thanks.
Okay, they know that number, yeah.
Yeah.
Who have you actually thought of him as a spreadsheet master?
It's actually not me.
Who is it?
Coach Holland.
Oh, okay. So you're taking credit for Coach Holland's spreadsheets? Is that what we're doing?
No. I mean, I'm the idea man, and Coach Holland's the get it done guy.
Okay, so so there we have it.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, can we keep it inside the numbers that Coach Antle's looking for? We all know what we're doing. We're all good, right? All right, a lot of thumbs up over there. So as we're talking about that, it leads us right into Breakfast of Champions, because Gary Reasons came out and spoke to us. If you don't know who Gary Reasons is, he played for the New York Giants. Us Cowboy fans used to love to hate Gary Reasons and all the New York Giants. Played with Harry Carsons, played with Lawrence Taylor, played with some big guys. But he was able to share with the players what they need to work on. I'm curious. I'm going to look over for some thumbs up from the players to see if they were awake or if they were actually listening that morning. Anybody remember what his acronym was? Yes. Oh, they do, yes. The answer is yes, and that is the acronym. Understand why you're doing it, have the expectations to understand what you're doing, and the structure to get there. So as you're looking through the structure, that 1.7 helps them on the structure and the expectations. And the why, these kids are all looking for, what are you guys playing for? State. All right, good. The expectations are there. See, you're doing your job. Yep. I knew you were.
Thank you.
I knew you were. And Coach Alexander's probably watching, so, Coach, they're doing their job. Good to know. All right, well, let's move on and interview some of these players. We got some DNA players to get to this week, but first off, we're going to bring up our team captain, Jackson Yarborough. Get up here. We're going to have our safety, and we're going to see some highlights in a little while. You're going to see number 20 flying around, but this is Jackson Yarborough, captain of the Grapevine Mustangs. 1-0, you're the one who yelled state, so you know what the why you're doing it, the expectations, and these guys are helping you with the structure. But as a Grapevine captain, tell us what you are doing to help the team and what it means to be a Mustang headed for state.
I'm making sure we're being keeping up the intensity in practice, making sure we're doing the right things, and just leading the guys and making sure we have the right goal in mind.
Okay, we got a big drive headed out Friday morning, headed out to Midland. What's it going to take to keep you guys focused as you get on the bus and head out there?
You know, we're going to show up, we're going to have a good breakfast with champions, and then we're going to keep our mind focused on the main goal, and that's going out there and whooping Horizon.
There we go. All right. Well, thanks for coming up. We're going to bring the DNA players up. That's Jackson Yarborough. Let's hear it for Jackson.
Thank you.
We'll see more of him here in a few minutes. All right, DNA guys, line up. Come on up, and we'll start talking through those guys. First up, we got Drake Beckwith. There he is. You are a Mustang Nation. I just want to warn you, bad hair is about to hit the stage. If you thought we had bad hair, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I got good hair.
Well, this is Drake Beckwith, one of the offensive linemen headed for Kansas State. Drake, looks like you won Attitude DNA Player of the Week. What did it take for you to win DNA Player of the Week this week?
Just, encouraging the guys, throughout the practice. I knew Monday, Tuesday would be really important. And, just during that little rough stretch in the second and third quarter, just really encouraging the guys. Me and Max, the right tackle, were really, just encouraging them, telling them to, keep doing what we're doing. And we'll just be fine. So, yeah.
Just keep digging, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're looking for another game. What are you going to be telling the other offensive line guys as we get ready and keeping them focused as we head into the game Friday night in Midland?
Just take it one day, 1 week at a time. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. Tomorrow morning's practice is big. Go at it hard and then just stay focused and really just, they kind of run a funky defense. So just stay focused on the scheme and we'll be fine. So.
Well, you're the Attitude Player of the Week this week. And we know you got a big one coming. What else can you do to help the team as a whole? And I've heard practice this week has been very good, very intense. What can you as a DNA Player of the Week help moving forward this week?
Just as you said, be intense during practice, keep encouraging everybody, set an example. How it's done, during practice. So,
well, keep it up, and we'll see how it goes Friday night in Midland. Next up, we have Drew Nelson. I can't read my own handwriting, but I shouldn't have admitted that on the speaker. We got Drew Nelson coming up. Drew, you got the Compete Award,
yes,
but as we're going to see, is his highlight on? Yeah, he's okay. All right, so we're going to have Drew's highlight. That was a great catch, by the way. Hopefully we're going to see that in the highlights a little bit. Maybe not. Well, you had a great interception. Tell us about that play first, because that was an incredible catch.
Well, the quarterback rolled out, pitched it to the running back. As you saw it'll show in the film. I'm coming downhill. I realized real quick that he's obviously throwing it, and I was able to get back and play aggressive and get the ball.
What's the call?
It was I was in hard, so I was.
What was the question?
It was
Coach
Antle. It was 4th and 25, so I should have bat the ball down, but it was a good catch. Parker scored the next play, so it's okay. It goes on the production board. That's 5 points.
Okay, so we're getting some inside knowledge here. That was pretty good. Anyway, well, so you got Compete. Tell us what you did this week that earned you the Compete DNA Player of the Week.
Yes, sir. So we went into that week knowing that number 4 was going to be a big threat, and we knew that we had to work hard and be really intentional in practice so that we could stop the run game, quarterback run game. So competing with my teammates, and especially on scout team, the JV guys are giving a really good look, and it was really, really good to compete against them.
Well, Coach Antle has said before that scrambling quarterbacks have been a little bit of an Achilles heel. So what were y'all doing with his coaching to make sure that he didn't become an issue on the field?
Well, we were just being really good learners on Monday and Tuesday. Most of us hadn't learned this concept yet, so we were really leaning on each other and leaning on his coaching and Coach Holland's coaching through scout team to learn what we were doing on our defensive scheme, and then we executed on Friday night.
Well, it worked. Night. We gave up 1 touchdown. But a lot of defensive stands close, so good job holding in there. Yes, all right, let's bring up, next up is Leighton Towery. Let's bring up Tough. Go that way. Oh, well. More blonde hair coming on stage here. All right, Leighton, you got the Tough DNA Trade of the Week. Tell us about what it took to get that.
Well, it really starts with buying in throughout the week with Coach Antle's process about, you got your back against the wall. You got to dig deep and compete. That's not what I got. But tough, I keep thinking, as our backs were against the wall at the goal line the first time, I mean, Latham turned to me and he said, like, I got your back. And that keeps reminding me of Coach A's always pouring in, like, love is a tough word, and we use that, like, as brotherhood.
You like that, didn't you? Yeah, you did. I heard you. I felt him from here. Well, good. Coaches always want to play. Well, good. Tell me from the defensive standpoint what you can do to help your team get ready for the game coming up this week.
Well, I got to prepare personally on my own time, but then also be ready when it comes to practice and bring that intensity and build each other up with speaking life into my teammates and try and be the leader.
Well, good. Well, congratulations on getting that award. Next up, we'll bring up, looks like Meshach Noy, our family guy. More blonde hair coming to the stage. All right, I'm not sure what to ask Meshach. He's been up here for 3 or 4 times this year already, so we're going to just ask you this week, what'd you do to get family this week?
I think I just played hard and I didn't have my own, I didn't just play for me. I played for the team, played for the people on the sideline stands, cheerleaders, pet boys, and just people that were there for us.
If you want to talk about a guy who got the family award, I think he just mentioned everybody there. That's why you got the family award, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us what you're going to be looking for this upcoming ball game in Midland.
Hopefully just more consistent, because that was my problem last year. So I had a pretty good game on Thursday. I'm just trying to bring it back this Friday.
Well, good. We'll keep it up. We'll let you go off that way, and we'll now bring up Tristan Sneed. Tristan was this week's Discipline Player of the Week. So tell us exactly what it took to get the Discipline Player of the Week this week. Tristan?
Working really hard this week on making sure that my pass rush was to par.
A little closer, a little higher.
All right. Making sure that my pass rush was to par, and then also making sure that I can play the run really well.
Well, number 4 was a pretty elusive quarterback. He ran around a lot. Tell us what it was like chasing him around for the first 3 quarters of the game.
It was pretty easy. You just got to keep him on my inside shoulder and play contained.
Well, it looked like y'all did a pretty good job of keeping him contained, and unfortunately he was the one that wound up leaving the game early. But good job keeping that together. Talk about the upcoming week. What are you looking for this week?
I'm looking to do the same thing I did this week and stay extremely disciplined and make sure that my teammates can make plays and I can make plays.
So he didn't run away. He didn't get out of line. He got the discipline award, and it sounds like that's exactly what worked. Congratulations. Good job. Now let's bring up Hank Miller for the Fight Award. More bad blonde hair on the stage. All right, Hank, tell us what it took to get the Fight Award this week.
Coach A this week talked a lot about how we're going to have to play for our brothers to win the game, and we can't be selfish. So I really just, as I was playing, I thought about them. I thought about fighting for them, not just playing for myself. The rest of the O-line, not the rest. I'm not O-line, but in all my blocks, but yeah.
Well, if anybody's been watching all year, and this guy can attest to it, you've taken out a lot of blocks downfield. You've done a great job blocking. Tell us about what it's going to take to use more of that blocking downfield to win the game this week.
Yeah, we have a lot of good plays in, a lot of good schemes. I think we have a good game plan for this week, and just being disciplined to continue to block downfield and not be selfish, open up holes for the runner. Yeah.
And as they say, Coach, the offensive line blocks for first downs, receivers block for touchdowns. Would you agree with that?
Would, yes.
And is he an example of helping with that?
He blocks for touchdowns.
He's blocking for touchdowns. So go do it in Midland this week. Thanks again. Let's hear it for our DNA guys. All right, with that, let's go see what these DNA guys did to earn these DNA awards and look at some highlights. I'm going to turn it over. Which one we got up here first, Trey? Offense. All right.
That's how the world works around here.
Yeah, it's always offense first, isn't it? Man, these defense guys are always second fiddle. I'm going to go ahead and give my mic to Coach Antle anyway, though.
Oh, I get your mic? Yeah, I like you, but not that much. Sorry. Would you like to switch
No, you're good.
Well, if you stand behind us, we're not going to be able to see you.
He just can't. But it's going to be the highlights on it. He can't. He's one of the players not sitting.
Oh, you can't sit and talk.
You gotta be able to see.
Can they hear us?
Yeah, I'll just real quick after just Hank's done a really good job. One reason he got the fight awards because he's getting down in there, and he's been a receiver most of his high school career. And this year we asked him to switch down and play some tight end, so he's getting down there and mixing it up with some big bodies, and he's done a really good job being more physical every week. All right, here we go. So saw a couple ways they'd line up on film. We knew if they came out in this one high that this shot to Caden would probably be open, and after 2 plays they were lining up in it. So we went ahead and called it. Colt does a really good job looking off the safety, and he comes back and finds Caden wide open down the middle. The second clip right here looks like it started a little late, but that's one of our jumbo clips. Our O-line did a really good job, got a lot of push. They couldn't handle the jumbo package really the whole night. Yeah, another look at it. There you go. Opened up a big hole.
You know what my favorite thing was about that one?
This was a nice little play action. We knew there'd be a good window in there to fit it into Parker. And then Parker, made us look really good by outrunning the rest of them. Parker did a really good job there taking a short play and turning it into a big play. Yeah, you see him right here. We got a good window right there for our Badger. Parker catches it and then turns on the burners and splits them. Yeah, so they were really loading up the box and penetrating on the inside. So we ran one of our little toss plays to Caleb, and Caleb gets a little crease, and he doesn't need much space for a good little 15-yard run when we were backed up. Really helped us get back into the flow. We don't like being backed up against our own goal line. See it here on the front side. Caleb doesn't need much space, gets a big play. Another good run by Caleb, so doesn't need much space. You see him slip through, and he does a good job right here of finishing the run right here at the end, trucks the safety as he comes down. So you'll see it here. Caleb sees a little hole, slips through, and then he gets to the second level and delivers a blow to that safety and just runs him over. Here he goes. This was a 4th down. Kind of been saving this bootleg for a while now. Roman does a really good job of acting like he's blocking and then slips out late. So you'll see 43 right there, acts like he's blocking, slips out late. Colt comes out, finds him, dumps it down. Roman does a good job catching it before he runs and then getting the first down. We knew they might give us something here. We knew there'd be a tight window to Leighton. The kids did a really good job practicing this week and then coming out and executing it. We're kind of saving it, one to have a pass play with Leighton and Garrett Gardner in the game. And we thought there might be a window in there, and then Colt and Leighton doing a good job coming out here and executing it. Once again, it's our jumbo. We believe we have some big, strong kids, and teams have trouble matching that when we get down on the goal line. So you see all the push we get down in there. Then here we go. Got a Rondell in the game, throwing him a fast screen. Rondell's getting his first varsity experience. Rondell's a sophomore, but he's only 14 years old, and I believe he's the fastest player on the team. So we're trying to find some ways to get him involved because you can see when he gets the ball in his hands, he's really explosive, and there's things he does to help us out.
Am I up next?
All right, so let's do the McKinley and Hutchings certify the numbers against the Coyotes here. Talk about the stats here, Coach. 3 passing touchdowns. I mean, you can see them on the screen. Talk about the overall performance and what your thoughts were coming out of the ball game.
Yeah, pretty balanced yardage-wise. Kind of like I said at the beginning of the show, I was really proud of the way our kids came out and executed to start off the game. We were able to jump on them early and put them in a hole, and then when things didn't go our way there for a quarter and a half, they stayed together and came back out in the 4th quarter and finished the game well. So I was just really proud of the way the kids stuck together throughout the game.
Well, good. All right, well, let's move on and get some defensive highlights here with Coach Antle and his crew.
Start off the game in 4-by-1 empty, and they're going to run the ball weak with the quarterback. It's a big challenge, especially for linebackers, so they're really just testing. Holy smokes. They jumped around on me. I did this last week. Leighton Towery started off the game on the right note with Tyler freaking stuck the dude and really tough, and then we find ourselves down here in the red zone after a coverage bust, probably on me. Send a 6-man on 3rd down to make it 4th in a country mile. Okay, I believe this one's a 3rd down on the goal line, and they ran it again the opposite direction. So we get power one time, then we get countered back the other way. Same call, Arizona, little field pressure, slanting into it, and then slanting from the backside of it on this one. Huge stop, and I think we had 2 of those. It's all about the attitude right here. I mean, look at these guys celebrating. Gets you juice wanting to play. Let's see here. Okay, that's the end zone view of a T screen. So you've heard it already, but all week we're sitting here trying to contain this quarterback, keep him on both sides of us and vice them together. And then Tyler Mears, I was really hard on about playing T screen because they caught us a couple times. And he did a great job with Aiden Cassidy sniffing that one out. You got Meshach on one of his corner pressures on a big time sack here. I don't remember the down and distance. But once again, watch Tristan, okay? And then the other 2 guys in the middle, Garrett, Leighton, some other guys, we're all trying to just vice this quarterback together. Another 4th down on the inside the goal line, inside the 10 area. And they had to actually measure this one out. And if I'm going to be honest, I didn't think we got it. So I was a little bit juiced when they came out there and said they were short. I don't remember this one, to be honest with you. Slips my memory. I think the next play.
Well, you had a whole lot of highlights to pick from, so.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, guys being disciplined with the quarterback scrambling. He was really good with his feet, and we got the hang of him early and started getting back to what we normally do and away from like this call right here we installed this week. And it ended up being great down here inside the 10. I think 2 plays in a row. Leighton doing a great job spilling, and look how many hats. I mean, you can tell the difference in the intensity. For the last 2 weeks, I think the Wimberley game was a little bit of a wake-up that we needed, and guys have been approaching it differently since then, so I'm very pleased with that. Sprint out, a lot of bodies on the quarterback, 1, 2, 3, 4. When, as a DC, how many hats are at the ball at the end of the snap, and that's what makes you happy. Another 4th down stand. I feel like I've said that a few times.
Well, you had a few that really mattered there, middle of the ball game.
Mm-hmm. Just lost the contact. End of the game. No malintent on the kid, but great job by Christian finishing the play and getting a big sack and creating a fumble, and then Latham for a scoop and score, which helps his production points out. Right now on the defensive side of the ball, we post our production board. Do you produce? Do you not produce? And it's turned into a little bit of a competition within our defense. So Latham was pretty happy about that, and Jack's starting to feel it a little bit. Meshach, it rhymes, forgive me. Another corner pressure and another sack. So he actually climbed to 8 spots on our production board this week. Is that right, Shaq? Was it 8? Yeah, we got some competition going on.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers and get the McKinley and Hutchings certify the numbers on the defense here. It looks like offense still.
Offensive world, I'm telling you. I'm going to be an OC.
All right, so here we go. Now, this is the defense, so you're not completely slighted. You wanted to give up, what'd you say, 1.7 per drive, and I think, if I'm doing the math correctly, I think you probably came in south of that.
Oh, way south of our goal. 1.75 is the goal. I think it was 0.6 maybe. I don't remember how many drives, but gave up 7, scored a touchdown, and I think a safety. You'd probably have to credit to Coach A's punt block. So I have to give that to him. Obviously, last time I was sitting up here, I was talking about the Northside game, not giving up 14. It was 7. Let's see here. A lot of negative plays. 8 TFLs, 8 sacks, hands on the ball in the back end, 4 PBUs, and 1 pick. So I can be. I'm happy with that.
Well, it was a win. You should be. Now we're heading out west. Friday night, 7 o'clock, Midland against the Horizon Scorpions. As they say, everything in Texas is either trying to bite you, sting you, or stick you. We beat Scorpions once out of Fort Worth. Here we go back to the Horizon Scorpions. Haven't played them, obviously, but we've played that name. They're 6-5. Tell us what we're looking for on the from the offense there that you and the defense are going to have to work for Friday night.
Once again, there's an athletic quarterback in the backfield. He is actually a lot better at finding receivers downfield when he does break the pocket and scramble. Good thing that we had to really be diligent about containing a scrambling quarterback last week. And then it's a whole lot of 10 personnel, wide open, a lot of space, trying to get it to athletes, trips, doubles, empty, quads, another version of empty 4x1. And then the running back, which lines up everywhere. He lines up in the backfield, obviously, as a running back, and then they put him at 1, 2, 3, and then 4 when it's 4x1 as well, across the field. He, I think he runs an 11-3. I got that also from Coach Holland, so credit to Coach Holland, the trackster. So he's a very fast kid. Our guy's going to have to know where he's at and then also be able to contain a quarterback that's capable with his feet again.
So as you get ready for the game plan, they score on average about 44 points a game. How much do you pay attention to that versus just the actual athletes, the formations and the plays?
Not as much, to be honest with you. I think for me, it's scheme first, and for offensive coaches, they probably look at players first. Maybe not all of them, but if I was on the offensive side of the ball, I'd say, okay, that guy, and that guy, that's where I want to run the ball, right? And find ways schematically to take advantage of that. For me, number one, and my linebackers should know this, you should never, ever, ever get outmanned or out-leveraged on defense. Those are the cardinal rules. So my job as a defensive coordinator is to make sure that I'm putting them in a position where they're not getting outmanned or out-leveraged. And sometimes I get my hands tied and they got to bail me out. You know, like that first clip where Leighton and Tyler, it's 4x1 away from them and they want to test them. First play of the game. They bail me out. And there's not much I could do to change that. It's just body on body and see who's going to win. Yeah, that's all I got in my head right now.
Well, good. Well, let's talk about the offense and see what Coach Loy is cooking up over here on the other side. They give up some points. How do you plan to exploit that, and what are you looking at from the offensive standpoint?
Yeah, up front on defense, I mean, they're pretty aggressive. They're going to put 6 and sometimes 7 people at the line of scrimmage and run a bunch of different stunts and blitzes and try and create some negative plays. But, you know, if our running backs and stuff, once they break through that first line of defense, should be opportunities for some big plays if we can just get through that initial surge right there. But, yeah, they're going to try and show us a bunch of looks up front and try and, you know, really load the box probably most of the game.
Well, I'm sure you and the Mustangs will be ready. That's going to be 7 o'clock Friday night in Midland. So if you're traveling, make sure you get there early. We're looking at a 4 or 5 hour drive on the way out there. Breakfast of Champions. If I understand, it's still normal time. Are we still good with Breakfast Champions and jumping on a bus? Is that what I'm hearing? Yes. All right, men of the community, be there. You need to be there. It was great last week. It'll be great this week. That's 7 o'clock in the field house. The players will probably board the bus as soon as we're done. So try to be there so we can send the players off. Anything else anybody has before we get out? Sorry, Coach Alexander's not here. I know he's with Mandy. Coach, we're thinking about you and Mandy, so we'll talk to you soon on that. But anything else? Otherwise, special thanks to Kim Assad and Tradio for putting this together, and everybody's been a part of this one. If you have not been to Hotel Vin and Third Rail where we're at, ladies and gentlemen, you need to come check out Third Rail here at the corner of Grapevine, Main, and Dallas. Phenomenal facility. Let's hear it for Hotel Vin. We will see you next week.
Dog days of August, with the steam lash in the air. Practice driving to perfect, pushing to make the day. Mustang